Well, farmers protesting against 3 central farm laws since last November are in the national capital today, where they are holding a Kisan Sansad, or a farmers' parliament, at Jantar, Mantar, not very far away from the actual parliament complex. The agitation is being held in groups of 200 while the parliament session is underway. Of course, the ironic thing in this is that multiple adjournments in parliament have been forced by repeated disruptions. But those visuals on your screen of 200 odd farmers coming by buses, they were stopped originally at the Delhi border by the police, who asked them to take an alternative route. After initial resistance, the police took farmers inside a resort to count their numbers before escorting them to the protest venue. Now, protesters are going to follow parliamentary norms, with a speaker, a deputy speaker, a tea break as well. Those visuals of farmers in buses heading towards Jantar Mantar. Well, as those protests, scenes of those protests played out outside Parliament, the Union Agriculture Minister reiterated that the government was open to dialogue on the farm laws, which he insisted were beneficial for farmers.
जहां तक किसान यूनियन के आंदोलन का सवाल है, सरकार ने पूरी संवेदनशीलता के साथ उनसे चर्चा की है। बिल के किस प्रावधान पर उनको आपत्ति है, अगर वो आपत्ति बताएंगे तो आज भी सरकार खुले मन से उनके साथ चर्चा करने को तैयार है।
Sonakshi joining us at this point live from Jantar Mantar, where that farmers' parliament is taking place. Sonakshi, just tell us what's happening over there. How many farmers have gathered? Because that's been an important point of contention also, with permissions given to only about 200 odd protesters.
Well, Ankita, what I can show you right now is that we have reached Jantar Mantar, the protest spot where the farmers were expected to gather, not too far away from the parliament. This is at least a little over 100 farmers so far at this particular spot that you're seeing. We are being told that one bus, due to technical glitches, has lost its route so far to Jantar Mantar, so they should be on their way. But yes, there are so many more farmers expected to arrive. This is not all of the 200 farmers. If you can also see, if I can ask my camera person to zoom in, Mr. Rakesh Ticket is sitting in the audience here alongside other farm leaders, including Mr. Yogendra Yadav. Just about 2 minutes ago, I spoke to Mr. Ticket. We will be playing that out shortly for you. I asked him what was the importance of conducting this parliament here, the Kisan parliament, as they say, right next to the main parliament, and his answer to that was that even the farmers of this country have the right to hold their own and conduct their own parliament, and that is exactly why they've named this event till the end of the monsoon session as Kisan Sansad, because they believe that farmers too have a voice, and that is exactly what they are doing right now. The Kisan Sansad has commenced with Mr. Yogendra Yadav giving opening remarks and Mr. Rakesh Ticket in the audience, in the presence of other people and media, of course. So right now, as of 1 p.m, farmers have arrived at the Jantar Mantar protest spot, and they are so far quietly and peacefully speaking amongst themselves and conducting discussions and conversations regarding the farm laws.
All right, thanks very much indeed, Sonakshi, for getting us those visuals. Very orderly scenes in Jantar Mantar, where it seems the farmers' protests are really holding true to those permissions that they've been granted. Just over 205 people being allowed, but everything happening in a very orderly manner. Sonakshi, you were reporting from the border onwards this morning. What else can you tell us about what happened earlier?
Well, Ankita, when we were ready to start from Singhu border, when the farmers had given a call time of 10 a.m, they left slightly early. There were about 5 buses that departed from the Singhu border, the main protest site for the last 8 months or so for the farmers. Once they reached the Delhi borders, while they were trying to exit Singhu border, remember that area has been barricaded for months now for security reasons. It was at that spot, at a resort, where the Delhi police decided decided to have a conversation with the farmers and the farm leaders to just make sure that protocols are in place. Remember, until last night, Delhi police had been told to be on alert, and as per instructions given by the Delhi LG, only 200 farmers were allowed to participate. So that is exactly what the Delhi police was cross-checking with the farmers, having a conversation as to how many people have actually been part of this protest, also checking other protocols in place. And of course, the Delhi police was always expected to escort the farmers to this site, and that is exactly what happened. So for about 20 to 25 minutes, we saw that everything was on halt because of this conversation happening between the Delhi police and the farm leaders, and then they further proceeded to come to Jantar Mantar.
All right. Thanks very much indeed for joining us with those details.